Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Dr. Angel Storm, and today I'm talking to you about the difference between the justice system and the legal system. A lot of times when people go into court, we have this predisposition to what is going to happen when we get into the court, and especially when we go to court with a narcissist. I know for my own personal life, I expected that when I go to court, I'm going to get justice, that there's finally going to be somebody who has the power and authority to make a difference in my case. They're going to hear the facts, they're going to rule with me, and I'm going to finally get justice for my situation. And while that's a great way to think about the system, and that's certainly the intention that was there when the system was formed, that assumption can seriously derail your case. And so today I want to talk to you just a little bit about what we have going on here. We have a legal system, and it doesn't matter what branch of the legal system you're dealing with. So whether you're in family court, you're in criminal court, it really doesn't matter. What you have going on is a legal system, meaning there are a lot of legalities that you need to go through in order to have your case heard and to get a ruling of any kind. So a lot of times people will have a great case, and the truth is very evident in what is happening in their case, but they aren't able to present it in such a way in this legal system that forces the judge to rule on their behalf in the way that they are asking the judge to rule. So what I mean by this, and this again is just an example, is that let's say you're divorcing a narcissist and you have children together, and so it's not just a divorce, there's also a custody situation. The narcissist could be, let's say, late by several hours dropping off the children, right? It was the narcissist's turn for custody sharing. They dropped the kids off very late. That isn't going to be enough to show that the narcissist doesn't care about the court orders and doesn't look out for the best interest of the children and is doing parental alienation. And this is one of the things that's so frustrating. Again, like I can speak to this from personal experience about the system, is that this has to go on for a while in order for the judge to truly be able to rule on a character issue and in the best interest of the children. So when I talk about the best interest of the children, this is a legal term. This isn't what you think is best for your children. This is the legal definition of what is best for your children as defined by the state and the county that you live in. Every state and every county have a different definition, and so it's very important that you know what your county's specifically where your court case is happening, that definition, because you do have a legal case to make. This is not, the narcissist drops off the kids late. How does that fit into the framework, the legal framework already set up in your county? So for example, if you are trying to build an alienation case, you need to find out the legal definition of that. You can't say it's withholding the children from me. You need to show underneath the category of withholding the children, you need to have it listed, right, as it goes out. On this date, he was X amount of hours late dropping off the children. On this day, we had set up a visitation or an exchange of the children to happen, and she didn't show up. Something like that. You need to have these things very detailed, listed out underneath each of the categories of whatever best interest is listed by definition legally in your county where your case is being heard. And if you are not yet in court with a narcissist, but you're thinking about going to court with a narcissist, then it's important that you already start investigating what that legal definition is and start building up the evidence for that. You want as much evidence as possible. A lot of people don't know this, but your journals can be used as evidence in your case. Now, the problem with that is that of course, you have to submit the entire journal, right? So you can't pick and choose. But nonetheless, your record keeping can be used as part of your evidence in your case. So that's why I stress, building a record with evidence. And I have developed a system for recording that. If you're interested, you can purchase it on my website. It takes you walks you through exactly how to build a case. It talks to you about legal definitions so that you're not overwhelmed by hearing all of the legal jargon. So building a legal case is different than building a case for justice. You might be thinking this is an open and shut case, but even in the most open and shut cases, there's legal reasons and ramifications that the judge cannot rule in your case, even if they want to, how you want them to immediately. I'm not kidding. This can take years to build up. That's why when we start working together, when I start working with my clients, I make them write down their why. What is your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you hiring me? Why are you interested in now going to court with a narcissist? Tell me your why, because that's going to need to be before you every single day that you go through this process. The reason that I want to stress the difference between the legal system and the justice system is because if you enter into a legal system expecting justice, you're going to be very frustrated when it doesn't happen immediately, and it doesn't happen swiftly, and it doesn't happen strongly, right? When you've been suffering, so a lot of people who end up in court with a narcissist, it's like it's been this buildup of many months, maybe years, maybe decades, of all of this injustice that they've been suffering. They've been living under an unjust system for so long. They've watched their children be treated unjustly for so long. They've seen nobody advocate on their behalf or on behalf of their kids. And so this can be very frustrating. So by the time you're ready to go to court, you're expecting all of those years that have been building up, waiting to be heard, waiting for somebody to, for the narcissist to answer to somebody for those actions, for all of the things that you've gone through. You're expecting that to happen now, because now you're ready to enter into justice and to tell your story and to fight for your kids and to get out of the situation that you're in. But unfortunately, you're entering into a legal system, which can make you more frustrated if you don't understand that this is why proper expectations are so necessary, prior to entering into the situation, the legal situation. Let me just quickly give you an example. I recently was speaking with one of my clients, and she said, I almost wish that she's not in the court system yet. She is not sure how her case will play out, but she said to me, I almost wish that I was already, I already had a judge. I'd already filed paperwork so that I could get this show on the road, so that he would be held accountable. And I explained this story to her, which is that you will likely get the outcome you're looking for, but it will take you a very long time. And so sometimes we just need to be careful about what we wish for too, because if we don't have the stamina, the stomach, the finances, the mental resolve, or the time and the energy to see through the legal system, what we want at the end, which is ultimately justice or freedom for us and our children for the future, then what you're entering into can actually do a lot more damage. And actually, there's been a lot of research that shows victims of crimes and abuse and trauma are actually more traumatized when they have to relive their trauma for the court. And what a lot of people don't understand is this is not you getting on the stand and telling your story one time. You are going to have the other attorney, who's also usually a narcissist. The narcissist tends to hire narcissistic attorneys, coming at you, picking apart your story, trying to blame you. And this is all legal. because you're in a legal system. You're not in a justice system. And you're thinking to yourself, this is unfair, this is not right. And you're absolutely correct. But you are in the mindset of, I'm going to get justice, I'm in a justice system, when actually you're not. You're in a legal system. And so it's very important that you go in knowing this is a legal system. These are the things that are going to happen. These are the things that I'm going to be required to do. These are the things I'm going to be required to say. It's legal for the other attorney to say these types of things to me. It's legal for the narcissist to do narcissistic activities to me in front of the court without the court stepping in. It's legal for the narcissist to do narcissistic activities to and around the children without the court immediately stepping in. You need to know these are legal things. And so if you think at the moment he does it, then the court's going to stop it, then somebody's going to, intervene in that situation, and I'm going to be free from it once and for all. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen quickly. It is a process. You can get justice from the legal system. But if you are so focused on getting justice for your situation that you lose sight of the very long and hard walk that you are going to go through when you go into the legal system, then it can sometimes, cause that feeling of hopelessness, of helplessness, of further trauma done, and it can exacerbate the situation. So the reason I'm doing this video is because I know you think when you go to the court, you're entering into a justice system, but that's just simply not the case. It will be first a legal system. Again, I've talked about this before, but sometimes the best thing that you can do for your case is that once you're in the court system is to allow the narcissist to be a narcissist. Let them drop the kids off late. Let them not respond, by a certain deadline. Let them miss their visitation. Let them be late on child support payments without nagging them about it. And honestly, the reason is because it shows their character. It shows that this is a pattern of behavior that cannot and will not be curtailed over time. Sometimes and most often, the judges want to give the benefit of the doubt to both parents, right? They're not sure which one of y'all is telling the truth, which is why I talk so much about learning who you truly are, getting your identity straight, which includes your emotional and mental health, so that when you're in front of the judge, your behavior is night and day different from the narcissist. It makes it very easy for the judge to see the things that you say are true, the things that they say are false, and it helps speed up this process. So there are things that you can do to speed this up, but it's still very important that you go in fully prepared. You don't go to battle, you don't go to war without the proper equipment. You need the proper equipment for this because you don't understand how intense it can get. You're going to have the guardian ad litem rummaging around your house and looking at you and your parenting skills and critiquing every single thing about your life. And it's important that you are so confident in the way that you parent, and you are so confident in the relationship that you have with your children, that the eyes on you, the spotlight on you during this time doesn't rattle you, that you're prepared and at peace when you answer questions for the parenting coordinator or to the judge directly, quite honestly. So, there's things that have to get worked out. Most of the time, we are our greatest roadblock to the outcome that we're looking at. So if I go in thinking I'm going to get quick justice and I don't get that, it can be very frustrating for me. It can be very it can feel like another kind of kick while I'm down sort of thing. But if I understand no, that's just how the game is, it doesn't mean that I'm losing. Actually, I'm allowing things to unfold naturally so that my narrative matches the current actions of the narcissist in front of the judge, in front of the third parties involved in my court case, right? When I know that this is all unto something, that this is not for nothing, that they are not winning and I am not losing when the narcissist gets away with A, B, or C, then I understand that, no, this is just how the legal system works. At the end of it can be justice for me if I'm willing to walk out this road and not ever back down from my stance either. A lot of people get into the legal system and get so frustrated because they haven't seen the justice that they've been wanting, that they start giving up and giving into things. They start negotiating in places where, a month or 2 months ago, they would have never negotiated in, but it's just been so long, they've just been kind of beaten down. And that's a strategy of the narcissist. Honestly, the legal system works in favor of the narcissist who seeks to elongate the court process. The narcissist wants it to continue on. First of all, it gives them a spotlight. It gives them a greater sense of power, of control. All the things revolve around them. They get to talk. They get to be the center of attention. Your life revolves around whether they do or do not do something. They know that they can drain your time, and most often they're also trying to drain your money. So this legal system is set up to almost help the narcissist get narcissistic supply. And if you don't understand that this is just part of the process in order to get justice, and you don't understand how to use it for your benefit, it can leave you feeling very frustrated and honestly even in a worse space mentally than if you hadn't entered it. So that's why it's really important to know the difference between the justice system and the legal system, and also know that you're entering into a legal system. The legal system can ultimately lead you to justice. It can. I've seen it happen many times, and I'm a full believer in that. But it's important that we have the right mindset before we go into it, because that can honestly make or break our case. It can make or break the outcome of our case. It can make or break our children's future. And until the system is completely reformed, we are operating in a legal system. Until it is completely reformed, this is what we have. And so for that reason, I hope that those of you watching this video will really take this to heart. You'll really start thinking about what I'm saying and applying it to your case if you're in court already, or start preparing for it if you think you might or are about to enter into the legal system. It is not hopeless. It can work for you. It does take persistence and effort and continuous growth throughout the whole thing. It requires a support system. It requires very strong mental resolve, but you can ultimately turn the legal system and force it to give you justice. You just need to know that at the very start of it, you're in the legal system, and there comes a point where it will change to your benefit and to your favor. But when you first enter it, it does not. It is not in your favor. And if you go in looking for a quick fix or a quick win, it can be very devastating when that doesn't happen. So you guys, I hope this video has helped you. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel below and then turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.